Hello, hello. Welcome or welcome back to Get Organized at Work podcast. I'm Kayla. I'm your host. Hello. I'm so excited to be back with you this week. Hopefully, my voice sounds better than last week. It was recovering from a cold last week. It's still not 100%, but I feel like it's a lot better. And so this week, I'm excited to slow down with you just enough to introduce an idea that's been quietly shaping how I think about leadership, organization, and honestly, how we take care of ourselves while we're doing this really important work. And for today, I'm going to call it grounded leadership. And I want to be really clear about what I don't mean when I talk about grounded leadership. I don't mean, calm down or being passive or be quiet or small or less ambitious. When I say grounded, I mean steady, supported, clear, and rooted, and you're able to hold complexity without spinning. And grounded leadership is what allows you to lead well when things are busy, emotional, or uncertain, like maybe right now for a lot of you, because systems are holding you, not the other way around. Welcome to Get Organized at Work. I'm your host, Kayla Fahey-Ahrndt, healthcare leader, mom of three, and your go-to guide for ditching the chaos and taking control of your workday. This is the show where we turn overwhelming to-do lists into clear, actionable plans so you can crush your goals and show up as your best self at work and in your life. Whether you're here for strategies to stay ahead or systems to simplify your workday, you're in the right place. Let's get organized, have some fun, and make this year your best year in your career yet. Let's dive in. All right, let's dive into the main part of the episode. I'm so excited to add some Kayla Sparkle with you this week for the episode. And as the year goes on, and it was like, okay, how do I think of why I love getting our work organized and how to convey that to you in a fun way? And so we're going to talk a lot about that today. It's going to be our theme for the month, just as we had a theme for January. So first, let's talk about the core problem and then how we're solving it with this fun idea. Most leaders I work with aren't overwhelmed because they lack discipline or motivation. I've said this before on the podcast, right? I think we're all just trying to do the best thing we can. And sometimes it's very difficult to do that with all of the busy, emotional, and uncertain things happening. We're overwhelmed because our work lives are visually noisy. Our tools don't necessarily talk to each other. Our projects live in too many places. Our priorities aren't visible, and our systems don't match how your brain actually works. So everything just kind of lives in your head, right? Have you ever said that? Like, oh my gosh, I just need a minute to get it all out. And when everything lives in your head, that's when urgency creeps in, even when nothing is actually urgent. And that's not a leadership failure, it's a systems problem. Okay, so on to the magic that I really want to talk about. It's an analogy that I was like, oh my gosh, yes, obviously. So, if you've ever watched The Home Edit on Netflix, you know Clea and Joanna, and you know the magic isn't just in making things look pretty. If you're not familiar with them, basically they own a home organization company. It totally blew up over social media, and sort of their biggest, I guess, moniker is that they organize everything in rainbow color. Just Google The Home Edit if you haven't heard of it. And for them, though, it's so much more than making things look pretty, right? It's that things are visible. Everything is categorized in a home the way that makes sense for the person in the home. They have right sized containers for things, they have space for backstock, and their spaces are easy to maintain. And so it's like when you open an organized pantry, you don't feel judged like, oh my gosh, all of this stuff. You actually feel supported. And now I just want to say, I know they mentioned on the show before, like sometimes the systems they make don't get maintained well and they have to make new systems or they get invited back to redo things. Same thing with organization. It's not like one and done, right? You have to keep iterating your systems. But one day it just sort of hit me. I was like, oh, our work systems feel just like this. You want to open your work pantry and feel supported. You want to open your computer or sit down at your desk and be like, oh, I got this. Leadership systems should feel like walking into a beautiful, organized closet that says, I got you, right? Like, I want that for you, and I want that for me too. I'm thinking of Sex in the City too. Sarah Jessica Parker and her closet. I'm like, I mean, we all deserve it. So that's what I mean when I say the home edit for work. Organized systems that where things are visible, and easy to maintain. Metaphor number one I want to give you is the Kanban board system that I teach, equaling that rainbow closet aesthetic. All right. If you've ever seen the home edit organize a closet using the rainbow method, you know exactly what I mean. Clothes are grouped by type, then they're ordered by color. Everything is visible. Nothing is hidden in piles. And the big thing is, too, that before they reorganize anything, they take everything out and they do the edit part. They're like, okay, what am I actually using right now? What do I need? And then they also consider what are the items I wear all of the time and items I wear less frequently. Like, for example, I think they had done an ER physician's closet, if I remember correctly, or a physician's closet. And they're like, let's have a special section for scrubs. It's like, absolutely. She's pulling her scrubs all the time, every day. And the other sections are further away from her in the closet because she doesn't use them every day. A Kanban board does the same thing for your projects. Instead of floating around in your head or scattered across sticky notes and emails, everything is visible, categorized, and maybe even color coded, and moving from intentionally from to do to in progress to sustaining and to done. And that's part of grounded leadership. You're not guessing what matters. You're not reacting to the loudest thing. You're seeing your work clearly. So just like a rainbow closet removes all your decision fatigue when you're getting dressed and you don't have any time before you need to get out the door, a Kanban board removes decision fatigue when you're leading and when you need to make the most important decisions about strategy instead of what am I supposed to do today, or what is the next step? All right, the second metaphor I want to share with you is OneNote, my OneNote hub system. This is where the metaphor really comes alive. So if you think about an organized pantry with clear bins for categories, labels so nothing is lost, right-sized containers, not too big, not too small, backstock stored intentionally, everything has a home. And your OneNote hub should function the same way. Instead of notes scattered everywhere, random things saved from your email, meeting notes you can't find, or ideas scribbled into like 3 different apps. So you have one home, clear sections, consistent structure, and information you can trust. And that's what grounding yourself in this hub feels like. You can stop asking, well, where did I put that? What's the source of truth? Where's the one, the one source of knowledge? You start saying, I know exactly where that lives. It's probably in this tab. I know how to search. I know how I keep myself organized in this hub. Grounded leaders don't have to remember every single thing. They just want to design systems they can trust, systems that allow them to just sort of dump out their brain and say, okay, I've got you. I'm having fun with this. Let's do one more metaphor. One of my favorite home edit concepts is the idea of backstock. And for me, it makes me think of capacity planning as a leader. You don't put everything on the shelf. They teach you on the show that you store extra intentionally. You plan for future needs without decluttering today, right? So you might say, oh, okay, so I know that my family loves oatmeal. Well, those containers for the instant oatmeal are like super tall. My family likes to quick oats. Well, they're this barrel shape that doesn't really fit anywhere. So oftentimes we're decanting it into a container in the pantry. But if it's, on sale, or maybe I know that sometimes they run low on the days that I shop, I'll pick up a couple. Well, I don't have room to store those all in my pantry, so I might store the 2 extra ones I have on my backstock shelf in my basement. So leadership needs a backstock too. And what that looks like would be templates you don't have to recreate. So you're just like implementing them when you need them, you have them. Maybe it's repeatable workflows, saved agendas. Maybe it's your standard work, systems that absorb stress during your busy seasons. So grounded leadership means you're not starting from zero every single Monday. You've already planned for reality. Why does this matter for leadership? When your systems are grounded, your leadership feels steadier. You have more confidence. You can lead well through emotional times in our society. Your communication becomes clear. Your decisions are less reactive. You really protect your energy and your team feels safer. Not because you're controlling more, but because you're holding less in your head every single day. And for me, this is stewardship. It goes back to our January theme. This is soft power, and this is sustainable leadership. All right. And I mentioned this on recent podcast episodes. I think I've definitely been talking about it in our Get Organized at Work community, but in January, I leveled up the community a ton. We're posting weekly and daily content, all based around the monthly theme and the weekly podcast. It's super fun, and we're getting into the groove of it. And so this entire week inside the Get Organized at Work podcast community is built around grounded leadership through systems. On Tuesday, the day after this podcast drops, we're going to be diving into tools, specifically how to build digital workspaces that actually support you. And I actually did move my Leading Through Challenging Times webinar meetup to this Tuesday. It would be the 3rd of February, just because last week I was really losing my voice and didn't feel well. So this Tuesday, we're going to meet at 5 p.m. Central Time. We'll be able to talk about tools during that as well, because I think it's relevant. So check that out. On Wednesday, I'll be walking you through the home edit for work visually inside the community a little bit with some posts and maybe some videos. On Thursday, we're going to reflect on grounded leadership as a skill, not a personality trait. I typically love to write longer articles on Thursday or Wednesdays. And then on Friday, we'll notice where grounded leadership showed up in real life. And I often love to post photos. And so I wanted to share that this community has been moving forward to an invested model to $9.97 a month right now. But because so many people have been joining and we have lots of founding members inside, I'm offering member access right now for $5 a month with the code FOUNDER at checkout. So if you're already in the community, I've sent you an email about that and how to do that. If you're not in the community, but you're like, I need to join this, this is awesome. The link is in the show notes or in the description if you're listening on YouTube. And the cool thing about the community is that I decided to go this way because it's a lot of time and energy for me to really cultivate all of the content inside of it. But to me, this feels like the best place to support you, where I can add value and actually talk with you instead of just talking at you. And because of this, I decided I'm going to give you all my paid content too. So if I created a OneNote hub that I maybe make a video tutorial and post on YouTube about it, I'm going to post that OneNote hub for free for you inside the community if you already have access. I also have my Get Organized at Work Blueprint course in there with 6 modules on leader standard work, getting your communication skills set, developing your leadership persona or brand, project management, all of that. That's all available to you if you become a founding member in the podcast community. And any like free future resources that I create, I will add them in there. So this is like buying your pantry one time and then using it every day. It's very organized in there, easy to navigate, and it's just a great place for you to be with other professionals like yourself. I always love to see who's joining the community, and they all have super important leadership roles in our communities. I've got general managers in real estate. I've got regulatory directors in healthcare. I have senior managers in engineering and manufacturing. I have hotel executives, area managers, radiology managers. I have directors and managers of primary care clinics, laboratories, nurse managers, health and safety managers. We're growing this community. We have some awesome folks inside of it, and I can't wait to see you inside too. All right, just like our normal episodes, I want to leave you with this reflection question. Where could grounded systems replace urgency in your leadership? Not doing less, not caring less, just choosing to let systems support you. Grounded leadership isn't about shrinking. It's about standing on solid ground so you can lead well even when things are hard. I'm really glad you're here so we could talk through like how the home edit is just like what we're doing, but for work. It's going to be fun. I'm excited to show visually what this all means inside the community. And yeah, let's build some grounded systems together. I'll see you on the inside of the podcast, and I hope to see you on Tuesday's webinar about leading through tough and ambiguous times. I will see you in the next episode. Bye.